Hey guys, welcome back to another FIFA 21 experiment. Today we have the new and improved edition of the London League experiment, and this time we have actually included West Ham. So here's how it's going to work. We take all the playable teams in FIFA from London and shove them in their own exclusive league. We're going to take control of Charlton and we're going to play through 4 in-game seasons. Will Leyton Orient become the best team in London? Will Arsenal fall to the bottom of the table? Or will everything just stay pretty much the same? It's time to find out. If you enjoy this video and want more seasons in the future, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out our membership options where you can join the Vibe Gang and have your say on what future experiments we do here on the channel, along with many other perks. So here we are at the end of the first season with Charlton. You can see we've made a couple of signings. We've tried to strengthen this team as much as we can. Now, before we have a look at how the league table looks, we have used the Brazilian League as the template, which is better than the one we used in the last episode, which was the Danish League, I think. But we don't have that weird playoff split this time. So it's just a pretty much 14-team league table that we're going to see here. Now, the budgets won't have affected us in this first season, so you can expect the league to look similar, you know, as you would expect, I suppose. So yeah, don't expect any major surprises in this first season. Hopefully, as it goes on, we might see some weird things. I haven't actually seen the table myself yet. And again, all the teams would have had, I think, the budgets that they normally start out within their respective leagues. So let's have a look at how the league table ended in this first season. Let's go over to season and go to the standings. So let's start from the bottom up. You've actually got Luton Town at the bottom there with 10 points. So a championship side finishing bottom of the table. Next come League One side, Wimbledon, who only finished 2 points above Luton. 1 point above them was Leyton Orient, who have definitely overachieved. I mean, they only got 3. They only didn't finish bottom by 3 points here, but still, it's very good to finish above a Championship and a League One side. Then come Millwall, who are below Charlton, which I'm thrilled to see. 4 points we beat them to 10th by, and that's another Championship team below us. So then Charlton obviously in 10th there. So I guess if relegation was a thing, we would be clear of it. So that's. I think that's a positive to take, I suppose. Then comes Watford. So Watford finished 4 points above us. They are probably one of the better Championship sides. So I'm surprised to see like QPR finish above them, for example. Then comes Fulham on equal points with QPR. And they are a Premier League side. So it's interesting as well to see Fulham and Crystal Palace finish below Brentford there, who are a Championship team. So there are a few little surprises, but the points that are in these decisions are very, very small. Then you've got West Ham, the first team in the top 4. So your 3 are going to be Spurs, Chelsea and Arsenal, but in what order? Let's find out. Spurs third, 59 points. So yeah, there is a big disparity in points between West Ham and Brentford there. So yeah, that is kind of to be expected. Big goal difference gap as well. And then second was Arsenal and first was Chelsea. They only won the league by 3 points though. So yeah, pretty much as you'd expect. A few teams that maybe did a tiny bit better than you thought. I suppose it wasn't just a block of like, here's all the Premier League teams at the top, then the Championship teams, then League One, then League Two. There was a little bit of a change around, I suppose. But we can hopefully see a little bit more of that as time goes on. Of course, this league, I think the budgets that they give you and the prize money that they give you between top and bottom are a lot more close than if this was, for example, the Premier League, if that makes sense. So I hope that given the similar budgets that teams are going to get, hopefully we'll see a little bit more weird stuff in the next seasons. But let's have a look at season 2. And this is the squad that we have at the end of the second season. So I think our transfer budget was around about £5 million, if I remember rightly. And we had to really start utilising the free transfer market. You can see our 2 centre-backs, they were both free transfers. I think even our 2 strikers were free transfers. We haven't really been able to spend much money. However, we have built a pretty decent squad. I mean, that is looking like a solid Championship sort of level squad. So how have we done and how have the rest of the teams done in the league table in this second season? So let's have a look if anything's changed. So Wimbledon bottom this time, then QPR in 13th place with only 1 point more than Wimbledon. Then come Luton and Leyton Orient. So it's the same bottom 4, I think, in a different order. In fact, no, that's not correct because QPR actually had a much better season last time round. So we're already starting to see maybe some weird stuff happening here. So Leyton Orient, again, it's clear of danger really if relegation was a thing here. It's not, but if it was, Orient are safe again. Wimbledon and QPR. Yeah, QPR probably the biggest team that have dropped off, I would say. Yeah, then Luton, Leyton Orient, Millwall again in 10th. I think they came 11th last time, so they've improved a little bit. Then Watford, again, not having a brilliant season. Brentford, and we actually finished above Brentford, and you can see we finished just below the Premier League teams here. Are there any more Championship teams left though? I don't think so. It's only QPR and Brentford and Watford in the Championship, I'm pretty sure. So who finished 5th? By the way, there isn't that much of a points gap anymore between the Football League sides and the Premier League side. You can see we only finished 8 points off of West Ham, and even Brentford only finished sort of 10 points off West Ham. Then come Fulham in 5th, who had a better season than last time and 3 points above West Ham. This is becoming a more evenly distributed league in terms of the points tallies. So let's have a look at who's 4th. Crystal Palace had a very good season, 51 points there. They must have done some pretty good transfer business, and it is still, though, that typical top 3. I mean, Chelsea start with players like Havertz and Werner, who have ridiculous potential. So, and Arsenal and Spurs have similar players as well. So it will probably take a little bit of time for them to be knocked off their perch. Maybe in like season 3 or 4, we'll see maybe somebody else sneak into the top 3. But let's see the order in which it finished this time. So Crystal Palace only 1 point off of Arsenal there. Second was Chelsea this time, and Spurs won the league. Very, very close again. 1 point they won the league by. But that top 3, it's actually more of a top 2 this season, because Crystal Palace literally were 1 point and a couple of goals off of just chiming into that top 3. So yeah, hopefully things are going to start to get weird now. Charlton, though, did have a much, much better season. Our goal difference, not so great, but we picked up points. We managed to get above Brentford, Watford, Millwall and Luton, all the Championship sides. So at least for us, things are going well. We're improving quite quickly. And this strike partnership of Davis and Miguel actually looks like it could be really good going into the next couple of seasons. Miguel with 11 goals, Davis down there with 5, and Kirk, one of the players that we signed, with 5 goals as well. So yeah, some players to watch out for there. So end of season 3 now, and you can see by the ratings that we have built a squad that if we were in the English tiers here, in the English divisions, we would probably be like a top end Championship side, maybe even like a bottom end Premier League side. So we have improved season in, season out. We have got better players. Our ratings have improved. That does tend to happen in career mode, but how has that translated into the league? Let's have a look. So you can see the bottom teams all pretty much the same as last season. Leyton Orient did finish 7 points above Wimbledon at the bottom there, but still performing better than teams that are literally in leagues above them in real life. QPR, again, not a great season for them. Luton as well, both finished on 20 points. Millwall, again, in that sort of same spot, 10th, 11th. Watford and Brentford, so yeah, pretty much similar to what we've seen in the last few seasons. None of those teams that we're looking at right now have really broken through and, you know, improved massively. Charlton, again, in 7th place. It's not a bad finish, but this time we do get a 0 goal difference, which means probably we've got a better defence. It's pretty much all you can take from that. But the top 6, this is where it could get interesting. It might not, though. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Fulham in 6th this time, so 42 points for them. Again, only 7 points now between us and the Premier League sides. So we are narrowing that gap, and Brentford, we're actually a little bit further in points off of the Premier League sides than they were last season. So yeah, that hasn't quite materialised as interestingly as I'd hoped, but still, let's see what happens in this top 5. We've got Crystal Palace in 5th, so they were like nearly in the top 3 last time round. So yeah, they've dropped off a tiny bit. Then we've got West Ham, and it is the typical top 3 still in season 3 here. West Ham with 55 points. Oh, only 1 point off of Spurs in 3rd. And who do you reckon, guys? Arsenal or Chelsea? I have a feeling Chelsea have won it. I just have a feeling. And I am correct. 60 points for Arsenal and 67 points, which I think is the highest league winning points tally we've seen in the 3 seasons so far. So Chelsea won it. I guess they must have kept a lot of their players. Let's have a look a little bit at some stats. You can see for us, if we go over to stats and look at goals, we are building a pretty decent strike partnership of Miguel and Keenan Davis here from Aston Villa. Again, lots of free transfers. Lecco as well having a pretty prolific season for us. You know, we're building a good team. We're doing what we can with our budget, and we're doing what we can with free transfers as well. And season 4 then, our final season, and you can see the team we've built is really actually respectable considering where we finished, the budget we've been given, and lots of other factors. Like, we have built a really good squad here, and we'll go through it in more detail at the end of the episode, but you can probably tell that we've done a bit better in the league by looking at that 94, that big green 94 at the top of the screen there. So let's have a look at where we finished. Let's go over to this league and have a look and see if anything's changed. Hopefully this is where things start to really differentiate, where some interesting stuff starts to happen. So starting with the bottom place team, this time it is Leyton Orient, who unfortunately have their first season finishing bottom, so they haven't really improved. 6 points, that's really, really bad. They only won 1 game all season, and I think it might have been against us. I think it might have been. I tried to take a little bit closer control in this 4th season here. And yeah, I think that 1 win was actually against us, and I think we were at home. So yeah, Leyton Orient overall, awful season. And Wimbledon again in 13th. Luton again, not having a great season in 12th. QPR and Brentford actually dropping below Millwall this time. Millwall doing slightly better. Then you can see we've got Watford again, who always seem to be in that sort of area of 8th. West Ham this time in 7th, so we have broken into the sort of Premier League level teams ourselves. Palace in 6th, Arsenal in 5th, which means even if we hadn't broken into this top 3 or top 4, wherever we are, we would see Fulham breaking into this top 4, this Champions League places, if you will. So Arsenal in 5th, on equal points, by the way, with Crystal Palace and equal goal difference. They only get 5th ahead of Palace on goals for. So 4th was Fulham. Wow, okay, 4th was Fulham, 49 points, and they have pretty much broken into the top 4, as I said. Charlton did finish 3rd. We got 51 points this season, which is very good. You can see the squad we built is very, very good, very solid. And then we got Spurs in 2nd, and this time Chelsea winning the league again. So, guys, it has shown us a few surprises here. I mean, the top 4 has been pretty much the same. I reckon you might need a few more seasons to see even more weird things happen. But it seems like if you do chuck all these teams from different leagues within the English pyramid into one league, it still does stay relatively accurate to real life. Again, I think if you did more seasons, more than 4 seasons, you might see some more weird things. But let's have a look at how our squad looks and how we've been able to build a squad basically on free transfers and under 10 million transfer budget each year. So again, I told you this partnership of Miguel and Davis, very, very solid up front. We've got a few Charlton players that still are with us. Amos, Purrington and Nike off the bench. We've signed some players that we actually really were interested in real life, like Kirk, Offerbor as well. And we've got like some Champions League-esque players as well, like Mbuemo will probably be that in a few years in real life. Also Arias, who's a very, very, very seasoned and very good quality fullback. Jaden Stockley still knocking about Forster, Kaski, Matson, Famwo. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of what we did, and we really did break into that top 3. What we've discovered here in these 4 seasons is that it's very, very hard to, even if you even out the playing field, to break in and become better in 4 seasons anyway than some of the top teams like Chelsea and Spurs. So we did a pretty good job controlling Charlton of getting near to those top teams, but the computer had a really, really hard time. The AI can't quite do it. Again, after more time, after some of the key players retire, maybe you would see some slightly different things. But it's actually quite a good thing, I think, that it stays pretty true to real life, because you do want to see some nice accurate league tables, but it just would have been interesting to see like someone like a QPR or a Luton or even a Leyton Orient just like break into the next tier above where they're expected to be. Like, I would have loved to have seen Leyton Orient in the top 10 or the top 8. That would have been really cool. But yeah, we managed to provide the major exciting story here. We finished 3rd. Chelsea and Spurs still not catchable. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. If you do want to see more seasons of this save file, do leave a like, do leave a comment as well, and of course subscribe to the channel. I will see you all next time. Have a great day. See you later.